Hello and welcome to the second video, which is developed from unixservices.co.in. We have Unix Services as our company, and now we are concentrating on the concepts of IP tables, and we are looking at how exactly IP table works. So we have seen how exactly it lists the rules which is there, and to have a demonstration, we'll just go back to the Red Hat machine and see. So I'll say ifconfig, that's iptables dash uppercase L to list. Suppose if I don't want all these rules which is being laid out, so what I'll do is I'll just type iptables dash F to flush. Now if I type iptables dash L to list, so we don't have any rules which has been specified. Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and write some rules and see how exactly the firewall or the IP table perform. So before we go ahead, we need to learn how should we write a rule. Very important. So we have understood the three main segregation to write a rule. One is we need to use tables, and the one is we need to use chains, and the one is we need to use rules. These are the three important things. And we also saw iptables dash L, which lists all the rules which is there. You can also use, if you want to view only the filter table, you can use iptables dash L dash T and a filter to only view the filter table, nat to only view the nat table, mangle to only view the mangle table. So that's all different things which is there. And now let us go ahead and look into how do we write a rule. So very important is, so first we will type the command iptables. Okay, so I will perform this task on a machine which is now presently running a web server. So the IP address of this machine is I've configured it as, so let's see ifconfig, so it's 1.30 and it has the HTTP service running. So I'll say service HTTPD status, and you can see it is running. So we have the HTTPD service running. So here if I just open a browser and type in my IP address, so it's HTTP 1.30, so automatically it will pull up the information, welcome to unixservices.co.in, because this is what is the information which has been written on my Apache web server. So this information is dropped under var www html as an index.html page. So I'll just show you that information as well. So if you just get into var www html and hit ls, you can see the file. So this is the file which it is bringing up, and we have the service HTTPD which is configured and it is running. So that's good. So Now if we request the same page on our network from a different machine, so we should be able to get that information. So let's do that with the CentOS 6 machine. So I will open up a browser and I'll request for a HTTP request. I'll say HTTP colon 192.168.1.30. Here we go. So we are able to get 1.30 by communicating through port number 80 through HTTPD service to the server. So we are communicating to the server, that is 1.30. This is our client. So if we just check the IP address of this machine, fconfig, so you can see this machine has an IP address of 1.35. so this is the client CentOS 6 and the server is CentOS 5. We were able to communicate to the CentOS 5 machine, which is there here. Now we have to apply the rules on this machine, the server, which is providing the requests to the clients. So now we need to check by using Iptables, do we have any rules on this machine? So if we see, we don't have any rules. So now let us go ahead and write a rule on this machine. So how do we write a rule? So we have a procedure to write a rule. So first we will type Iptables and then we will type -t and the table name. Okay, and then we will type a rule. So let's do that now. So I'll go to my server. This is my server. I'll type Iptables -t. Table name is filter. So we are applying it for the filter table, and now we are writing a rule. So what is the rule? So A is accept. Okay, so here is a rule position. So this is the syntax. So we are using -t as the option here, -t, and we are writing it for the filter table. Then we are using -a accept input. -i is interface, the action what it has to take from ETH0. -p is protocol, TCP, and -- is destination port 80, -j is jump, reject. So you need to write a table name, then the rule position, the action what it has to do, the chain name, the input chain, the conditions is if we are accepting the request from ETH0 through the protocol TCP through the destination port 80, then it has to jump and perform an action reject. So this is how you write a rule. So we have written -t for filter, -a to input. So let's write down the rules. -a to input, -i, the interface is ETH0, then we have -p is the protocol TCP, then we have -- destination, dashport. So port number is 80. If the destination port is 80, dash J, jump, reject. Boom, we have written a rule here. So now if I say iptables dash L and C, you can see it has put in an input, and now we have a rule which has been written for protocol TCP. Source is anywhere, destination is any TCP, and it automatically recognizes the HTTP port, that is port number 80, through an ICMP ETH0 protocol, and it shows automatically unreachable. So according to this rule, so when now we are trying to access our server through the port number 80, we should not be able to. So previously we were able to access. Now if I refresh this page, you can see, so it directly rejects the data packet. So this is how you write a simple rule. That's good. So let's flush that rules and then recheck once again. So we'll go back to this machine, the server. So now we will flush the rules by using uppercase F option, and if we now use dash L, we don't have any rules which is written here. And now let us see, does it accept? It should now. So we refresh the page. Here we go. So this is how you write a rule, and you go ahead and make sure your web server accepts the request. Okay, so this is one way of writing the rule. So how do we go about denying an access for one specific IP address? So we know the IP address of this machine. So this machine has an IP address of 1.35. So we'll say clear, say ifconfig. It's 1.35 is this machine, the client's IP address. So now we will write a rule how to reject a request from a specific IP address. So now we open up the server, and now if we see, we don't have any rules which is specified. And now let's write a rule. See our node section. Here we have an option. So how do we write in? So if we get any requests, so any request which is coming from this particular IP address, it just drops. It might be any request which is related to port number 80, or it might be port number 22, whatever may be the request. Okay, so let's see this now. Dash A, we are not using, if you see here, we are not using the table information. We're just putting it as, we are going to the second level and we are writing it directly to the chain. So we are saying accept input, if the input is from this IP address, so directly drop. So let's say iptables dash A input -s. The IP address is 192.168.1.35-j jump drop. So if we see the list, we have this rule written. So now if we try to access from this machine, it should not accept the request. It still says connecting. It just drops. It says loading. It's not accepting. Let's try an SSH connection to make sure it drops. So I'll say SSH uppercase X root at the rate of 192.168.1.30. Still we are not able to connect. So it drops anything and everything which is coming from an IP address 1.35. So that's good. So we have demonstrated two different examples. How do we go ahead and work with the web server as well as SSH. So you can see connection timed out, so drops. So we'll stop this session right now and continue in our next session.